Hello, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Better Mindset podcast. I hope you're doing good or at least surviving. Either way, I'm glad you're here. So, today we're talking about something we all deal with: controlling your emotions and your thoughts. Yeah, the stuff that randomly shows up at 2 a.m. when your brain decides it's time for a full blown overthinking session. So, let's talk about how to actually stay in control without losing your mind. Your mind is loud. Mine too, and it's not always saying helpful things. Sometimes it's just noise, like stuff you picked up from the past, things people said, things you assumed, or just your brain throwing random thoughts at you because that's what it does. I used to think I had to react to everything I felt. Like if I felt annoyed, then I had to be annoyed. If a thought come up like, yo, this is too much, I can't handle this, I'll just believe it and act on it without thinking twice. But here's the thing, I want to tell you something. I wasn't actually choosing anything, I was just reacting. There was a point where I started paying more attention to what was going on in my head, not in a deep or dramatic way, just not saying like, wait, do I actually believe this thought, or am I just so used to it being there? And that's when things slowly start to feel different, because I'm gonna tell you something, not every thought is yours, and even if it is, it doesn't mean it's right. Some thoughts are just echoes, like stuff your mind repeats because it's been doing it for years, but repetition doesn't mean truth. Same with emotions. Just because you feel something strongly doesn't always mean it's based on reality. Like, you get what I mean? Like, I felt anger for things that weren't even about the moment I was in, okay? Sometimes I was just tired, hungry, or I didn't feel in control. Yeah, it's a skill, not some magical trait. It's just to pause, that's it. The tiniest pause before reacting and before replying. For me, that pause changed everything. It was like stepping outside my own head for a second and being like, oh, okay, hold on. Is this useful? Is this even true? Do I have to say something right now? And a lot of time, like, the answer was no. I didn't have to say anything. I didn't have to react. I didn't have to make a thing. Here is something I announced too. The more I practiced that pause, the less I felt controlled by my own thoughts and emotions. They still show it up, yeah, like, obviously, but I wasn't at their mercy anymore. And yeah, it's not about hiding how you feel or acting like nothing gets to you. That's not real, okay? That's not real. It's more about learning how to respond without letting your emotions or your thoughts drag you into the same cycle over and over. Like, you feel it, okay, that's fine, but don't let it control you. That's the difference. And I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, no one is, but the fact that I even started trying, that already changed the game for me. It's not about being emotionless, it's about being free from being ruled by every little emotion I feel. So yeah, if there is one place to start when it comes to controlling your emotions and thoughts, it's this: not everything deserves your energy. Like, just start there, just that tiny pause. I'm gonna tell you something that took me a while to get. Just because you feel something doesn't mean you have to fight it. I used to think strength means like shutting it all down. Like, if I felt sad, stressed, or overwhelmed or whatever, I'll just be like, nah, I don't have time for this. I would push it away like it's nothing. That stuff just piles up. You push it down, it doesn't go away, it just waits. So for me, the real power is being able to say, alright, I feel this, it's here, but that's okay. Like, you move with it, you got what I mean? Not letting it take over, but also not pretending it doesn't exist. And yeah, I know people act like being emotional is weakness, but that's just noise. Like, real strength is quiet anyway. Like, real strength is sitting with the feeling without letting it control your next move. And yeah, sometimes I have days where I wake up and my head's already spinning, too many thoughts, too much pressure, and I didn't even do anything yet. I don't blame myself for that anymore. It's just like a part of being human. So your mind will do that sometimes. That's not a failure. That's just your brain being a brain. So for me, thoughts and emotions are like fire. They grow if you feed them. If I keep thinking the same stressful thoughts all day, of course I'm gonna feel worse. If I keep repeating same fear in my head, I'm basically giving it fuel. But if I see the thoughts and I'm like, Okay, alright, I hear you, but I'm not feeding you today. It starts to fade. And that's the real thing. Like, you can't feel something without feeding it. For example, let's say I'm angry, okay? I don't have to snap on someone. I don't have to hold it forever either. I can sit with it for a bit, understanding where it's coming from, and that's it. Maybe it's not even about the person in front of me, and then let it pass like a wave, like a wind. It came in and it will leave. And same goes for overthinking. I want to ask you something. You ever notice how overthinking always feels urgent? Like your brain tries to convince you that if you don't solve this problem right now, something's gonna go wrong. But 99% of the time, nothing ever happens. It's just your brain doing labs. That's when I remind myself, I'm like, yo, just because it's loud doesn't mean it's true. And again, I'm not saying ignoring your feelings. I'm saying don't let them own you. Like, don't let one bad hour become a bad day. Don't let one thought become your identity. That's how people get stuck. So you're allowed to feel everything. That's human, but you also get to decide what you carry with you. So if the first part was about not reacting to everything, this one is about not fighting everything either. You don't have to push it all away. You don't have to solve it all right now. Let the feelings pass, and all that mix, like feeling it but not feeding it, that's when you really start to feel calm. Sometimes your peace isn't broken by your thoughts, it's broken by the people around you. And I don't mean people always doing something crazy or toxic. Sometimes it's just little things. The way someone talks to you, the way they make you doubt yourself, or how they dump all their stress on you, like you're their personal trash can. And the problem is you just sit there taking it, thinking you're strong for staying quiet. But that's not strength. That's you slowly draining your energy. I had to learn that protecting my peace isn't rude. It's not selfish. It's actually smart, and it's necessary. You can't control every thought in your head, and you definitely can't control what people do or say, but you can control what you allow in your space. I don't owe everybody access. Just because someone is loud doesn't mean they're right. Just because someone is close doesn't mean they're healthy for your mind. So sometimes I would catch myself feeling heavy for no clear reason. And I was like, why I'm feeling like that? Why I'm feeling that way? And then I would think back and realize, oh, it's the convo I had earlier, or that energy someone dropped on me. That stuff stays with you if you don't clear it out. And look, I'm not saying cut everyone off or go live in a cave, for example. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying be mindful. Like, you have to pay attention to how you feel after talking to a certain people. If your chest feels tight every time you're around them, that's not random. That's your body telling you something. So you have to listen to it. And you don't have to explain yourself either. Like, you can just take a step back, be quiet, move different. Not everything needs announcements. You can distance yourself and still be kind. You can say no without being mean or rude. You can keep your space without guilt. That's normal. And here's the part where it all connects. When you protect your space, your thoughts get quieter. Your emotions get lighter. You're not carrying what's not yours. You're just hearing your own voice again, not theirs. Not the words, not the old patterns, just you. So yeah, not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life. Give your energy to people who bring peace, not pressure. Talk to people who make your mind feel calm, not crowded. Keep your circle small if you have to, or even just keep your space clear for yourself, and that's more than enough. Let's talk about control, okay? I want to tell you something. There was a time when I felt like I had to be in control of everything, like every little detail, my plans, my future, how people saw me, how my day was going, even what I felt. And honestly, it was exhausting. I used to think that if I didn't stay on top of everything, something bad would happen. Like if I relaxed, for example, everything would fall apart. But what I learned later is that sometimes the stress is not the problem, not the people, not the situation, just the pressure I was putting on myself to make everything go right. I want to tell you something. Life is never fully in your hands. You can plan, you can prepare, you can do your best, and things will still shift. People will change, life will surprise you, but you don't fail when that happens. You just grow. And I started to notice that the more I tried to control things, the more anxious I became. I think, like, in my opinion, control is fake. It gives you this feeling like you're safe, but it's not a real safety. Real peace doesn't come from controlling every piece in your life. It comes from trusting yourself that no matter what happens, you will figure it out. And that's where it all connects again. So when you stop trying to control every thought, every emotion, every moment, you give yourself space to breathe. So you stop fighting life so hard, you start flowing with it a bit more. Like, okay, this isn't what I planned, but I'm still good. I'm still here. I still got me. There's a huge difference between giving up and letting go. Giving up is when you stop trying, but letting go is when you stop forcing. There is a big difference. I never stopped trying. I just stopped trying to hold everything so tight. I stopped acting like I had to carry the world on my back. So sometimes you just have to say, all right, we will see what happens and move forward. And that's it. Like one step at a time, no panic and no pressure. So you don't need to control everything to be okay. You just need to trust that whatever happens, you will handle it and you will figure it out. Let life move. Let things unfold. You will be surprised how calm your mind feels when you stop trying to fix things that don't even need fixing. You cannot handle every thought that pops up in your head. You cannot control every emotion that shows up either, but you can control what you do next. And that's where trust comes in, because look, when you trust yourself, even like a little, your emotion don't feel so scary. You're not running from them. You're not stuck in your head trying to fix everything at once. You just know like whatever happens, I'll handle it. And that small shift changes everything. There were moments where I felt something heavy, like anger, stress, or that random sadness that hits out of nowhere. And my first reaction used to be panic, like, why am I feeling this? What's wrong with me? But now I remind myself like, yo, it's just a feeling. I felt this before, I've handled it before, and I'll handle it again. That's self-trust. It's not loud. It's not some fake confidence thing. It's calm. It's quiet. It's knowing you don't need to freak out every moment or every time something uncomfortable shows up in your mind. The thing is, when you don't trust yourself, every emotion feels dangerous. Every bad thought feels like a threat. But when you do trust yourself, you can sit with the feelings, let the thought pass, and not lose yourself or your balance. Let's say you're feeling overwhelmed, for example. You don't need to force yourself to feel okay right away. You just need to tell yourself, I got this. Maybe not instantly, but I'll move through it. I've done this before and I'll do it again. That small reminder keep you grounded. And yeah, not everyone will get it. Some people might expect you to act like a robot, always calm, never bothered, but that's not the goal. We don't care about that. The goal isn't to be cold. The goal is to be in control, like calm inside, even when things around you are loud. Here is where it all ties in. You control your emotions better when you believe you can. When you stop panicking every time something uncomfortable shows up, and just trust that you will deal with it, like one way or another, you will deal with it. That's real control. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to never feel anything. You just have to stop doubting your ability to move through it. And the more you do that, the easier it gets. Like thoughts comes in, you don't chase it. Feeling shows up, you don't run from it. You just let it be there without letting it own you. There is this moment right after something happens, right after someone says something, right after a thought hits. Like say something, do something, prove something, defend yourself, explain, argue, overthink. All those feelings, like that moment right there, that's the one that decides everything. And most of the time we just skip it, we react without even realizing. But once I started pausing, even like for a few seconds, everything changed. Like for real, just stopping for 2 seconds before I speak, before I reply to a message, before I act on a feeling, that changed my whole energy. It helped me stop making things worse, helped me stop like creating problems in my head that weren't even real. And I remember this one time someone said something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, we can say. Old me will have jumped in with something sharp, not even out of anger, just that quick emotions, no thinking. But I paused, okay, just a little, I took a breath, and I realized, like, I was like, yo, this isn't even worth my peace. And I let it go, and I felt really proud after, like, whoa, ya subhanallah. I want to show you. Look at this. Wow. Yeah, subhanallah. Oh my god, look at this beautiful sky. Oh my god, mashallah. What I wanted to say is emotions move fast, thoughts move fast, but that doesn't mean you have to move fast with them. You can feel something without reacting to it. You can think something without believing it, and you can get triggered and still choose peace. And no, it's not always easy, but it's possible. It's possible, and the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. So if you can just pause for a second, for a bit, you will see that most things don't even need a reaction. They just need time to cool down. And no, this is not about being fake or staying silent when you're hurt. It's about choosing your response instead of letting your emotions choose it for you. One of the most important things: take care of your body. When your mind feels all over the place, sometimes it's not even about your thoughts, it's about your body. If you're tired, hungry, or just not moving enough, your emotions can get out of control. I used to think I could handle everything with just my mind. I thought if I stay strong mentally, I'll be fine. But I realized that if I don't take care of my body, it gets harder to control my emotions and my thoughts. If I'm running on little sleep or not eating right, my brain just doesn't work as well. My thoughts get negative faster and my emotions get heavier. It's not about being weak, okay? It's not about weakness. It's just how our bodies and mind work together, you know. So for me, I think you have to move, even something simple like getting up and moving around. You don't have to do a full workout session. Just stretching or walking can help you feel more relaxed. Eating better, getting a good night's sleep, or just like stepping outside for a minute to breathe can make a big difference. Because when your body feels good, your mind can think clearly and your emotions won't feel as hard to manage, you know. So when things feel off, check in yourself. Are you taking care of your body? If not, that may be the first thing you need to change or you need to work on to start feeling better inside your mind too. How to stop overthinking. Listen to me. Overthinking is like a loop that never ends. You start thinking about one thing, then that leads to another thing, and before you know it, you've spiraled into thinking about everything. None of it even matters, but it feels huge. I used to overthink everything. Like one small thing would happen, I would spend hours going over it in my mind, wondering if I did something wrong, if I should have said something different, or if people were thinking about me in a certain way. And honestly, it's exhausting. The thing with overthinking is you can't just force your brain to stop thinking. It doesn't work like that. The real trick is just noticing that, just noticing when it starts and being like, all right, hold on, my brain is just doing too much right now. Okay, that little pause makes all the difference, because what I've learned is that not every thought deserves your attention. Some of them are just random, some of them are there to make you anxious, and some of them are there to pull you into a story that doesn't even exist. So when I feel myself starting to overthink, I just pause. I remind myself I don't have to react to everything I think, and then I shift my focus. Maybe I go do something else, take a shower, for example, just, even just distract myself for a bit, and I don't force it, but I don't stay stuck in my head thinking. So the real thing to remember is this: just because a thought shows up doesn't mean it's true. It's just a thought, not a fact. So when your mind starts racing, try to step back a bit. Notice the thoughts, but don't let them run your mood or your whole day. They are just passing through, and yeah, it takes practice, but the more you do it, the easier it gets to catch yourself before you spiral. So you start to realize that I don't have to chase every thought that pops up in my head. You can just let it pass, you know? So yeah. When overthinking hits, just remember, you don't have to believe every thought you have. You get to choose which ones matter. You don't have to let everything around you control you. Sometimes you wake up feeling fine, then you check your phone, you see something negative, and suddenly your whole mood changes. Or someone gives you an attitude and now you're angry for the rest of the day. Like one small thing happens and your mind just runs with it. I had to learn how to stop letting everything around me control what's going on inside me, because if you don't take control, everything around you or everything out there will do it for you. The news, people's opinion, someone's bad mood, social media, all of it will shape your thoughts and emotions if you let them. So you can't stop the word from being loud. You can't stop people from saying stuff or doing things that bother you. But you can decide how much power you give in. Now, when something happens, like someone says something I don't like, or I feel that instant hit of stress, I pause and ask myself, is this really worth messing with my mindset? Most of the time, it's not. And the same goes for thoughts. Sometimes I get a random negative thought like, maybe I'm not doing enough. Or what if this doesn't work out? But instead of feeding that thought, I just let it pass, like a cloud. Like, I see you, I notice you, but I choose to move on. And that's the whole point here, being the one in control, not your surroundings, not your random thoughts, not someone else's mood, just you. And sure, it takes practice. Sometimes something still gets to me, but now I bounce back faster. I remind myself, I choose how I feel. I choose what I give my energy to. This mindset keeps me steady. It helps me stay calm even when everything around me feels messy. So if things start getting to you and your emotions feel all over the place, just pause for a second and ask yourself, do I really need to hold on to this, or can I just, let it be? That little moment makes a big difference. Trust me, it's not about being tough, just about giving yourself some peace. After everything, what I really learned is that controlling your emotions and thoughts is possible. It just takes patience. You won't get it all right every day, and that's fine too. And yeah, you will still feel things, you will still overthink sometimes, but the difference is you won't let it take over like before. You start to understand yourself more. You notice when your mind is doing too much. You don't fight every feeling, you just give it space, and then you move. And slowly you feel stronger, more calm, more clear. Not because life got easier, but because you got better at handling it. Alright guys, that's a wrap for today's episode. Hope you got something out of it, even if it was just a little, yeah, I feel that. That's it. Go easy on yourself, stay in control, and if your thoughts start acting up, just remind them who's in charge. Okay? I'll see you in the next one. Take care of your mind.